And next we dive into fourth species counterpoint. Um, this one's a little different. In first species counterpoint, we had the one-to-one note for every note in the cantus firmus. We had a note in the counterpoint. That was the main thing, and then that introduced all of our subsequent issues that we had to deal with. In the second one, we had a note in between, and then we had to deal with accented notes. In third species counterpoint, we had 3 notes in between each note. So 4 notes for every one note in the cantus firmus, and that led to a couple of issues that we had to deal with. Now we're done with the note-to-note kind of issue and kind of multiplying that out the way we have been. What we're going to look at now in fourth species counterpoint, our major thing that we're going to have to deal with here is suspensions. Now, we're going to spend a lot of time talking about suspensions in the next couple of videos. But suspensions come about because we can now do rhythmic displacement, meaning we can do note to note like first or second or even third species counterpoint, but what we can also do is let the notes be a little wishy-washy in terms of their rhythm. We can kind of lay back on the exact rhythms of the counterpoint. Let me give you an example here. So let's put here, let's start this off with a rest. And then an octave. So let me go back and make that a rest. Okay. So we have D to D. Okay. Octave. Now what I can do, so it would look like here I'm setting us up for second species counterpoint, right? Because we have an octave here, it looks like we're going to do whole notes, or half notes in the counterpoint. And we could, but let's do a combination of whole notes and half notes, but a little different. Check it out. So what note should I do here? Let's do another D as a half note. And then let's tie those together. So what do I have here? I have essentially a whole note because I have 4 beats right here. So I have D, D holding all the way past this A, right? That makes a fourth here, which is technically a dissonance, right? So my D was a consonance because it was an octave, and then here it became a dissonance. So now we have notes that can change from consonant to dissonant throughout while they're sustaining, because we can just kind of shift the rhythm here, and this is called rhythmic displacement. Now, when we do this, we have to resolve it, and this shift here is called a suspension. So now it resolves to a consonance, because now A to C is a third, and that's a consonant. But let's keep going. What if I did the same thing again? So here we have a consonance. Now we have a G to C, that's another fourth. So this consonance now became a dissonance through rhythmic displacement. So now I have to make sure that that resolves, and doing it to a B would give us another third, and that would be a mighty fine thing to do. Let's keep going. Here we have an F. So if I suspend this over in the same way, my B was a consonance. Now it's going to become a dissonance, but now it's going to become a tritone, a diminished fifth. That might be a little more than I want to chew on right now. So let's not do it. Let's break the pattern, because we can do that. That's another thing we can do in fourth species counterpoint. I've got half notes. I've got whole notes displaced because they're going over the bar line and tied together, right? But now let's just do a half note. So I've got a consonant here of a third. Let's jump up to an octave. So I'm still on a third. And now I can actually do the same thing again.